if you look at the word prospecting, it's all about making things happen versus waiting for things to happen. They make that amount and they do what I do. Like we have the same license. Like what's the difference? To me, it's a sport and I love the game. Figure out a way to get to 50 contacts a day. And once you're there, figure out a way to get to 100 a day. Every loss is a win.
Okay, guys, here's another edition, very special edition of the Phone Warriors podcast. We have the one and only from Orlando, Florida, Milton James in the house. Welcome, Milton.
Dean, Richard, how's it going?
Going great.
I'm from your hometown, dude. You should definitely
Well,
give me.
that's why I love you guys. I mean, you guys are like my brothers. We came up from the same. We probably played football together. I probably truck sticked you. Whatever. Like we came up.
Oh, I'm definitely sure you're a better athlete than I was. That's for sure.
Nah, I just had a big mouth.
That's awesome, man. So listen, obviously, you being here, we're super grateful because I think there's so many people and agents out there that look up to you, right? They are out there, they're looking up to Milton. You're on the stages now, on the panels, you're getting noticed. You have been getting noticed for many, like almost a couple years now, where it's like your name is now almost becoming a brand, okay?
Yeah.
But what is really driving Milton James? Like, what's behind the curtain that you're waking up every day that you can say, this is my purpose, this is my intention of why I'm getting up every day to become this world-class person in your eyes that you're becoming?
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate you putting my name and world class in the same sentence. It's not that good. So, I will say I've been fortunate enough to be associated with some great people like yourselves. And just being able to work hard enough to be in the same room as you guys, so I think that anything could be fixed, handled, accomplished through prospecting. And I think I love the fact that you guys are prospecting based, and really, if you look at the word prospecting, it's all about making things happen versus waiting for things to happen. So anyone that calls themselves a prospector, those are my people. That's my tribe.
So you agree with the people who pick up the phone, and make calls versus make an Instagram post or a Facebook post or a mailer. You rather people put the work in to.
Yeah. I mean, listen, those things are great. I think there's some great agents that have a great foundation of generating business that way. And I think if I can add that to my game, that would be great. It's like Kyrie Irving. He's got handles, but then once he became a shooter, he was deadly. So you can do everything. I think I just feel like that was my foundation.
So what is it about the phones that you love so much? Like, why prospecting? What attracts you to this method of business that you're so good at right now?
Well, I don't know about good. Thank you. I'm willing and able, but I don't know about good. So, I really think that it's just it's like when Dean met his wife. It's like she didn't come up to you and start talking to you. You had to go to introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Dean. Yeah.
That's a true
So
story, by the way. Yes.
probably, yeah. I don't know the story, but
Yeah.
you just have to be aggressive. There's two types of people. There's thinkers and there's doers. Thinkers are probably the most successful uh, big picture, like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, but that's a different level. But the doers, I think America was made by doers. Mike Ferry's a doer. Your coach is a doer. I mean, so doers create things. Thinkers, also create things too. But I think it's more practical to be a doer.
I definitely agree with that. To be a doer is much more beneficial, at least from my point of view. It sounds like your point of view, Dean's point of view. You need to be able to be willing to get rejected, and it takes tough skin to be in that field, right? Because a
Yeah.
day in, I'm sure never happened to you, but it's happened to me where the prospect curses at you, the prospect, tells you some wonderful things about yourself that
Yeah.
you didn't already know about,
Yeah.
and to be able to pick up that phone, or heck, to even hang up that call just to make another call, it takes a lot of charisma, and it takes a lot of like a lot of strength to be able to have that skin to be able to move forward. So I know that you prospect daily, days out. What would you say that, has attributed to your prospecting? Yeah, like, for you to, like Dean said, like, what made you want to pick up the phone? So now that you are picking the phones, like, what made you want to do that?
Yeah, I think it was just exposure. I think my first real estate event, I went there searching for something, I was lost. I was in a t-shirt, back of the room type of thing. And then you see all these people towards the front, and the speaker says, "Well, this person makes this amount." I'm like, "They make that amount and they do what I do? Like, we have the same license. Like, what's the difference?" I'm from New Jersey, Spotswood, New Jersey. I'm a kid from Spotswood, New Jersey. I wasn't very fast or big. I wasn't really good at sports, but I loved the game of football, right? Love basketball, but I'm only 5'10", which is debatable, by the way. And I didn't get a scholarship. I wanted to walk on at Keene University. I don't know if you remember Irvington, the Elizabeth Union area. And I wanted to
Yep.
play football, and I remember my coach, who was in high school, he would say, "Milt," he called me Milt. "I love you, man. You're so good at being a good person. You're cool as heck, but I'll write your recommendation, maybe special teams." So, that dream fizzled. That dream fizzled. I had some hoop dreams as far as playing football. And I had some concussion issues my senior year, and I could have probably bulked up, but we were a really small school. So my desire was to be successful in sports. And then I 2.4 GPA, barely got through college, went and worked at a cell phone shop. So I really didn't have much. I mean, first year out of college, was young, married, and then got instantly divorced, like a Kim Kardashian moment. So I found Mike Ferry, and that made me realize, like, holy smokes, right? Um, there is a career in real estate, which my mom was a realtor, by the way, but she didn't really, she was a mom, right? So she kind of like Dean, one of the reasons him and I connect is his mom was a realtor, but it wasn't scalable. But when I met a guy named Mark Ramey out of Orlando, like a chameleon, he was a Mike Ferry agent. He opened my world. Like, this dude is making $600,000 a year in Orlando. So that was what kind of drive me. That I wanted to make 600,000.
Now, Milton, all the transactions that you've done, I mean, I'm assuming, I mean, you came out the gate. I don't assume that you were doing 100+ deals a year, obviously, right out the gate. And you've been in the business now for what, a little over 10 years?
14 years, and I'm still chasing 100. I haven't done 100 yet.
Okay, but
Per-
that's fair.
personally.
But I remember there, like when we were talking, just like at events and things like that, that you told me about, like there was like a trajectory moment, almost like an exponential hockey stick moment. Can you
Yeah.
talk a little bit about how long it took you to transition from, let's say, doing 10 to 15 deals, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden you went to like boom, to the 50? And
Yeah.
what actions were you taking during your on your days to
Yeah.
get to that mode at some point? And what year did it hit for you?
Perfect. Thank you for that. That's a great question. So I was always hovering around that 20-25 deal a year producer range, which is a great life, by the way, especially if you're in a high end market. Um, then I went to the 2019 Superstar Retreat, and I don't know if you guys remember, but the theme was Meet the Millionaires.
Oh,
I hope you
Yes, we were there.
were you
uh,
there?
yeah,
Yeah.
the billionaire
That event, bro, that event changed my life.
Hmm.
Okay. So Mike, gave out trophies, and he's like, "Well, this guy, millionaire realtor." I'm like, "This guy, millionaire," and I have the book somewhere. And you read the red book, the millionaire real estate agent. And it's really been a concept. And but I saw like 50 agents that Mike Ferry brought up to the stage, and they're all millionaire realtors. And I thought it was like a mythical thing. I didn't really think those people existed, because you sit at the back and you're thinking these people get paid. Um, Mike shouts them out, and they get paid for some reason. But I saw these people, and I'm looking at them, and again, not to be negative, but I'm like, that dude, that girl, he did. So I'm like, all right, I'm good enough, because I've always struggled with the concept of, am I good enough?
Hmm.
You know, and it took a lot of I've had to go through a lot of negative things personally where I struggled, and that those negatives were actually the best thing that you could ever that could ever happen to you. So I started seeing these people like, yo, Eddie Oberai, millionaire realtor. He's brown like me. Like, holy smokes. This dude, Eddie Delgado, or I forgot his name. I don't think he comes anymore. I'm like, dang, like he's a little 5'8" Spanish dude. Like, I could do that. So then
Mm.
they all had something in common. They were all in coaching. Who's your coach? This guy. Who's your coach? This guy. Who's your coach? This guy. And they all had kind of the same coach. So I was like, I need that coach. Like I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get their coach. Michael Jordan had a coach. Kobe Bryant wanted to be MJ. So what did he do? He hired Tim Grover.
Mm.
He did.
It's pretty simple. I mean, you really think about it. It's like we're all from Jersey. We're kind of like dudes. We're simple-minded. I think simple-minded dudes, the most successful people you'll ever meet. We're lazy. We keep things super simple. We like nice things. We like pretty girls. Like Rich, I know you're engaged now, and well, what does it take to meet a pretty girl? You got to prospect. You got to follow up. You got to go on the appointment. You have to close. And so being a guy from Jersey, that's pretty easy.
Well,
So I simplify. I'm like, all right, that dude made that much. That dude made that much. What do they all have in common? I got back and I hammered their coach. So, oh, I'm busy. I'm busy. Oh, I'm busy. I'm busy. So then I was like, all right, well, how do I get into this dude's schedule? So I hit my coach up and I'm like, I think you're MJ. I think you're the greatest. I need you to help me get your coach or a coach that would coach you. So then he hooked me up with that coach. And then, long story short, I just had really great exposure
mm,
to the best coaches on the planet. And that's probably the first key to the to the whatever you want to call successful.
okay.
And that's the thing. There's so many people, as you know, that are way more successful. I think your mentor, Tina Call, was on that stage as well.
Oh,
So
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. So
but you're doing all, so okay, you got the exposure. It's funny, I was looking for
uh,
that word. I was like, I'm waiting for him to say the word exposure, because that's what it was, right? You saw that, you were like,
100%.
my mind is blown.
Hmm.
But okay, so you that moment happened for you in let's say July of 19.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
You
yeah,
came back to Orlando.
yeah,
Okay. What did Milton do? What's the action that you took? But like,
yeah.
okay, you were calling, but like,
No, 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 no. I didn't call people. I called that coach. Like 12 people had the same coach.
so, but you got the coach. But what I'm getting at is this, Milton, is
Hmm.
that like there was what blinders did you have to put on? Like, was it just
Yeah,
like a matter of focus for you? Was it, hey, you know what? I now have the right coach. He's guiding me a certain way.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I got you. I got you.
yeah.
Okay. When you need something, God gives it to you.
Hmm.
I'm not a spiritual teacher or anything, but universe, God, Allah, whatever you believe in, when
Mm.
you need a lesson, you're given the gift of a problem.
Okay.
Okay, nice.
My biggest gift was I was in the wrong relationship, and I was in a situation relationship wise where I had all this time in the world to work and get better because I wanted to get better for that relationship. The gift is it made me better for not that relationship, for this relationship with me.
Mm.
So I seeked an answer, and I wanted to be successful, quote unquote. I want to be a millionaire realtor. I'm still chasing that, by the way. Um,
Mm.
so the gift was the problem. The problem is the solution. And then, I found someone I felt that could fix that problem, which was the coach, you know. Dallas Cowboys, who I love, we're having some issues with coaching, right? We have maybe the wrong head coach. We just lost a really great defensive coach to our arch rivals. See,
Mm.
coaching is so important because you have so much talent. Bill Belichick, for example, he was the former, the New England Patriots guy. I was hoping we would get him as a head coach because what did he do? He created championships after championships after championship. Shoot, 100 deals a year to me is a championship. Anything less than that, freaking failure. I've been a Dallas Cowboy fan my entire life. We've been failing since 95, my entire adult life. You know what I mean? So my entire life almost. So coaching matters, man. And the last time we won championship after championship, we had Jimmy Johnson.
Hmm.
So having the right head coach.
So I hear you saying having the right head coach, and
Yeah,
take a little bit of a spin on this, right? So you
yeah,
have,
yeah,
let's say that Belichick decides, we'll use your analogy. Belichick decides
yeah,
to go to Dallas,
yep,
become your head coach, right?
yeah,
You have the head coach, the cream of the crop. You
yeah,
have the head coach. The head coach now gives you the information,
yeah,
right? But now
yeah,
it's up to you as the individual, right? Like
yeah,
when it's off season, you have to still train. You still have to be
yeah,
able to build
yeah,
muscle. You still have to
yeah.
be endurance. And then when the season starts, practice starts, you gotta build up. But to become great, to get onto that field, what are you specifically doing? Because your coach can tell you, hey, listen, make calls. Hey, listen, go door
Yeah,
knock.
yeah,
Listen, do X, Y, and Z. But if
yeah,
you're not doing it, right, at any type of level, whether it's a high level or a low level, you're not
yeah,
going to see the results. So it's a two-part question here.
yeah.
How do you take the information received to be able to go do it? Right. And then
Yeah.
part two of that, once you are doing it, what are you doing specifically to make sure you can master and be a professional and
Such a great quote. You should have a podcast. Um,
a
desire, man. That's number two is desire. You have to want it so badly. Like I want it so badly. You understand? My old I coached with Ira for the last couple of years, and he jokes about this, but it's true. He says, Milton will prospect for 5 hours versus being on a date with his girlfriend. Like if it were up to me going on a vacation or prospecting Saturday and Sunday, because I want that, I have that desire. That's
Hmm.
my North Star. Um, so I wrote, you got to be in love with the sport. It's like Kobe Bryant. I don't know if you've seen that documentary or any of the documentaries, the Redeem Team on Netflix. They showed a clip of the again, these are the best people in the world, like Carlos Boozer, they're going out to the club and Kobe is coming back from the gym. You know what I mean? So you got to be in love with the sport. I love this sport. To me, this is a sport. I really feel like a lot of people fall out of love with it. They take it for granted. How dare you take it for granted? Like how
Hmm.
dare you not make 50 contacts a day? Who gets what makes you deserve to take a day off? Like to me it's a sport and I love the game. It's got to be like a girlfriend that you're obsessed with, you know. If you're not obsessed with her, let her go. If you're not obsessed with the sport, retire. Hang up the cleats. You
Hmm.
shouldn't be hooping at 60 or 50. LeBron James is in love with the game. That's why he's like 40, whatever age he is. You know, um, it's got to be the love of your life. Like you have, Dean, you have a couple kids, right?
Yes, sir.
Which is your favorite?
They're all my favorite.
Yeah, I don't buy that. There's always one that's your favorite. Any parent that tells me they don't have a favorite kid, I think they're lying.
Every day
See,
is a different story, but
and it changes. It
it
probably
changes.
changes.
One day, yeah, it'll be one of them. But it's
You know, you know what,
I
Nicholas, you're really pissing me off today. Go to
I
your
will
mother.
I will say this about kids because you guys have a little bit to go for that. Is
Uh-huh.
that you actually do have a lot more room in your heart than and I thought the same thing for a while. But with that said, right? Okay, you obviously you have a team now, right?
No.
No. But you have like a partner, or like, what is your setup now that you have with your
Yeah,
office?
under Caldwell Banker, Nora and I, we work under a team umbrella. We share one assistant.
Okay.
We're completely understaffed. Between her and I, we did 93 deals last year.
Wow.
So we're under leveraged.
Wow. So you're under leverage, but so one question I'm curious about, how do you view leverage then? Like,
Hmm.
are you opposed to any leverage, or is it because of the goal to reach that 100
Yeah,
deals and everything?
yeah,
Like, yeah.
yeah. There's a guy named George Graham, and he kind of, I know you and I talked about this the other day, and then I ran into him after this conversation, and it kind of like it screwed me up. I was like, what the hell? It started making me rethink it. So in my mind, like a Marine, like a Navy SEAL, I have to do 100 deals individually. Like
Hmm.
to me, that's like the golden standard for me. Again, with leverage, a couple assistants, but no sales help. Like I meet people and they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I've got two or three buyers agents." I did 100 deals. Then I started calculating. It's like, that's 33, like, 33. So to me, I need to do 100 deals. Like, I could go around saying that Nora and I did 93 deals. I did 49 deals last year closed. That's pathetic to my standard, because I'm ranking myself against my potential. Like when you
Hmm.
guys met me, that year I did we closed 86, but I had one buyer's agent who did 20, 21 deals. So to me that year we did 86, but I still did the 68 or some, however
Hmm.
the math is, 67. So I've met agents that I look up to, and like Josh Barker, right? 200 deals by himself. Like, I'm not chasing 200 deals. Like, that's, Dan Mum does 120 deals by himself.
Hmm.
Again, on his side, he has staff, but his transactions, Jeff Hyland, 200 deals on his side, people that, we know. So, and again, I know it's super, leveraged and they have teammates, but like, to me, I have to be able to say to myself so I can sleep at night, I'm a 100 deal a year producer
Hmm.
personally. It may take another 5 to 10 years. I may have to add some extra pieces of leverage, you know. Um, but that's what
Uh,
I'm chasing.
So I have a question then.
Yeah.
So you get that title, you get that trophy, you hit 100 deals. Let's say 2025, you hit 100 deals. You had that satisfaction, right?
Yeah.
What's next?
I don't know.
Do you not, are you like the Dallas Cowboys and we'll see you again in 30 more years? And then
Yeah, probably because I'll tell you for all right, I'll give you an example. Before 2019, when I met that coach, my North Star was 50 deals. Now it's
Hmm.
100, right? So it's always going to change. I mean, it's the curse of more. It's the, if you're a spiritual guru watching this podcast or watching this, you're probably watching the wrong thing. Like, the single the single mom with 3 kids, she's probably, not going to agree with me. But again, I'm certain in my wrongness. Like, I'm willing to die with that
Yep.
wrongness. You know what I mean? Like,
But Milton, you're basically saying this is your mission. This is your
my
purpose
mission in
right
life. My
now.
mission in
And
life is to get 100 deals.
right. And then, so however long it takes, it doesn't matter. You're going to get it in 1 year, 100 deals, which we know that you are. I mean, it's just a matter of time with the amount of work that you put into it and having a great partner by your side. So, do you now, how do you envision time? Like, when you talk about time management and everything else, how are you breaking down your time throughout the day? And how do you view that, like the time in your weekend and then also in the day?
That's a great question, man. It's kind of like when you first start, I bought a I bought a dream car last year, and
Nice.
you get in that thing and you're driving around. Next thing you know, 6 hours go by. You know what I mean? So I think time is made up. Time is an illusion. Time disappears when you're following your dreams and you're following what your desires are.
Mm.
It's like that first few dates with Richard Adamski's, fiance. Like, you talk and talk and like 16 hours go by.
Mm.
Time disappears when you're doing what you love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. So you never feel like basically you're saying it doesn't even matter. I'm following like your 50 contacts a day, however many appointment goals that you have for the day. It's not even like it's not even a thought. You're just going through like your
I'll
day.
tell you how I think about time. In the month of February, we've got 28, 29 total days. I
Mhm.
have to work 25 total days this month. And my goal is to be on an appointment every day. So, it's typically 20, if I can get on 20 appointments in a month, I haven't been able to do that. My most appointments I've ever gone on in 1 month was 16.
Mm.
No, it was 1 month I hit over 20. But if you can get on 20 appointments or more every single month, you'll at least do 100 deals, I think.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that.
So that's really the only thing about time. Like,
Gotcha.
how I think of time is like, all right, I got to fill these appointment slots. And
Mm.
the appointment slot is today. Like, today is one appointment slot. Tomorrow is another one.
And do you
Nice.
think that, a lot of the viewers who watch this, they're all probably in different production levels. Do
Yeah.
you feel that any one person, whether it be a transactional goal, somebody doing 10 or 15 deals, or like you just said, in respect to the time aspect, do you think that every agent has the ability to do,
Yeah.
just transactional goals
I
and
yeah, I read backwards. I'm dyslexic, so like there's Natasha Johns from Indianapolis.
Mhm.
You know, pink hair, you know, she has another business. She did 200 deals last year.
Mm.
Mike coaches her by herself. Like she has a couple assistants, but if she could do it, I can do that, you know. Like you guys do 90 plus deals a year or 100, whatever it is. Like if you can do it, like if it could be done, like the 4 minute mile, if it could be done by one person, it could be done like by someone else.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Got you. So yeah. So like let's say there was a kid that was knocking on your door relentlessly. He is like 100% like Milton. Just
Yeah.
tell me something that I can do. Let's say
Yeah.
he's a newer agent. He's just
Yeah.
trying to figure it out. And there's a lot of new agents, as I'm sure you know. Ever
Yeah.
since COVID, it's like everyone got a license, right? So they
Yeah.
knock on your door in your office there at Coldwell Banker.
Yeah.
What is the one thing you can share with that agent?
Talk to people. You know, figure out a way to get to 50 contacts a day. And once you're there, figure out a way to get to 100 a day.
And what's your definition of a contact now?
A live conversation
Got it.
You wrong
with
number.
with an adult. Oh, it's the wrong number. I'm sorry. I'm from the local real estate office. Are you in the market to buy a house this year?
Mm,
When do you plan to, you know, it's a low quality contact, but you know,
mm.
But as long as you stay true to your definition and you stay consistent, that's all that matters. Because at the end of the day,
yeah,
we're all doing the same thing. We're all throwing that fishing line in the water, and we're trying to
yeah,
see if we can grab a fish, whether it be a goldfish that comes up on the other end,
yeah,
or
yeah.
I don't know fishing terminology, but whatever
Whatever, yeah. Couple dudes from Jersey, whatever.
exactly.
Nice.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah, that's the thing. Like that's the problem, I think, is we overcomplicate it. I had a really good your coach, Dean. Are you still with Steve?
Yes, sir.
Okay. On record and off record, I coach with Tony Smith from the Mike Furrier organization, and I just started actually, and he's helping me with pricing. But when I was with when Steve was with MFO and when he did coach me, he said, Milton, you're too smart for real estate. Dumb it down. I was like, what do you mean? He said, you overthink things. Like, okay. He said, what's your job every day? Oh no, well I got to do this. He said, Milton, your job is to find an appointment, set an appointment. Your job
Yeah.
is to set a qualified listing appointment every day. And once you really think about that, that gets rid of everything else. Like your anxiety just goes away.
Hmm.
So if you really think about that, you have 8 hours to find one person.
Hmm.
and speaking of 8 hours and speaking about finding one person and having conversational goals, correct me if I'm wrong, but in order for you to achieve this, you wake up what 9 a.m. and you're in the office by what 12 to be able to achieve this in 9 hours. What
Yeah,
what
100%. Yeah,
what
well,
walk
and it's actually funny you say that because I have a theory on that, and I'll share it with you. But right now I'm trying to be, you know, I get up at 5:30 gym, 6:30, you know, I'm on that. But whether you wake up at 5 a.m. or 9 a.m. or even midday, because some people like in, you know, South Florida, like you know, nightlife people and LA, the cool people. I mean, you know, I used to work retail, you know, so sometimes you would start your shift at 11 a.m. Sometimes you would start at 8 a.m. Didn't really matter. Nurses, they start at like, you know, graveyard shift. At the end of the day, my analyzer says I need to speak to 50 people a day. How long is that going to take me? It's going to be about 5, 6 hours, or less, depending on who. So you know, work expands to the time allowed. So if I know I have to prospect 4 hours a day, let's say, whether I start at 8 a.m. or start at 12 or start at 3 p.m., like nobody's gonna like when you write, you know, cash the check. It doesn't say when you started prospecting. It's just you spoke to these amount of people. So
Yes.
to your point, I think where you're heading, correct me if I'm wrong, is there's an ideal schedule, but there's also reality. But our job over time is to close the gap based
Mm.
on your responsibilities.
Yeah.
that's exactly what I was asking you, right? Because everybody asks, what's a top producer schedule look like, right?
Yeah,
And at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is that you don't have to have any, you can replicate somebody's schedule,
yeah.
but it has to work for you as the
It got to
individual.
work for you. My mom, you know, anytime she's like, all right, I'm gonna sell some houses. She'll go to Macy's or, you know, the builder and just like socialize. You know, it doesn't. We're prospectors. They don't call themselves prospectors, but if you hang out with her for a day, yeah, she'll get up at like maybe 10 o'clock one day. She gets at 3 a.m. another day, but she, you know, talking to people all day.
Mm.
So it really is just talking to people.
Wow.
Now, if let's just say 21, 22-year-old Milton came knocking at your door now. This is now yourself you're talking to back in the day. What are you telling that Milton James early on, assuming that they're getting into real estate now, that you can offer as advice? Maybe one or two things that you could say to yourself back then that you wish you knew back then that now you know, and you would tell that person.
Yeah, I mean, I always, I would always say the same thing. Learn the 21 points in the Mike Ferry sales system that we've all learned, and then try to master those over time. If you think about, Mike Ferry, he's created everyone that's successful around us. Everyone that has something that's successful around us, Mike waved the magic wand, and 50 years later, boom, created it.
Nice. So follow the sales system that we were a part of. And
and then build on top of that. If you read the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, it has that triangle. You follow a proven model, then you be creative. But what happens is we start to try to be creative first, and then we don't build on a foundation. We have like an upside down pyramid, and then we have those ebbs and flows. And shoot, I'm coming out of a 2-year slump myself. So I've been my process has been perfect until pricing, because my market has been shifting so drastically. So I'm fixing that problem. And so if you look at the 21 chapters in the Mike Ferry sales system, which to me is the real estate Bible, at any problem you have right now, it's in the book.
Okay. So when did you start, by the way, calling your database?
Right after we met. After Steve left, Mike Ferry coached me directly, and that was a great opportunity. And Mike was like, he coached me through that. So right after 2022, 21 is when I really started focusing on the database, high quality contacts.
Gotcha. And now, so let's say how many, hypothetically speaking, like what are we talking? How many deals a year are you actually churning out? Like what is your target percentage wise from your database that you're looking to close on?
The goal is always 10%. I've been doing a poor job, I would say, because Mike says call them every quarter. I do that. Mail them every quarter. I do that. What I wasn't doing. Remember, we think we were doing something, we would skip a step. I have a trainer, right? And then, we're looking at like my meals and where the diet breaks down. It's usually that fourth meal, that end of the day. So for me, and again, getting back to the process, it's that last 2 minutes in the listing presentation where I break down. Up until that point, I would say I'm on script, but it's that last 2 minutes where I'm not sitting on the pitch as a baseball player, where I'm breaking down, because I'm tired. It's like 7 o'clock at night, and I just want to go home and eat some eggs and I just want to get out. Oh yeah, sign whatever. Let's do it. And I'm thinking I can get the listing reduced later, but it's not the case. I'm giving bad customer service if I'm doing that. So chapter 7 and chapter 8, which is pricing, property, and customer service, that's what I'm working on.
Got it.
And listen, the fact that you're so vulnerable and honest, that you as Milton James, top producer, has these struggles and has these issues, makes it that much realer. The fact that that's who you are, right? Because so many people say other things, but the fact that you did 49 transactions, the fact that you're struggling with customer service, not customer service.
Yeah, customer service. I have more fall throughs than most people, have deals. Like I had 28 fall throughs last year. So, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna come on anytime anyone asks me, I'll say how great I am. I'm gonna tell you the truth, because I have I have a belief. Hang on one second. I have a belief that most people that talk about their production, frankly, are lying. I mean, let me tell you how great I am. That's, you're full of it. I'd rather just, because it's accountability. Now, if I'm opening my mouth about something, I have to then go fix it.
Do you realize, Milton, that I at least I didn't know that, by the way. 28 fall throughs. The fact that you're even sharing that with us here. What did you tell yourself in the moment when you're at like deal number 20 that fell through from last year? What did you tell yourself to keep on going? Because a lot of agents would just, I feel like, quit. To be like 7 fall throughs, I'm out of here.
the Mike Ferry sales system has a chapter for that. Mindset, you know,
The commercial.
affirmations. Yeah, I mean, listen, I have an uncle who's very skeptical about everything, and he's like, I listened to that video you did, and why you keep talking about that guy, Mike? Give yourself credit. No, because it's not, you know, even the stuff he teaches, it's not him. It's a different, it's a universal mind, you know. It's Gunther Claus, Mike, you know, all these people that teach us things, they got it from somewhere.
Got it.
That's true.
So, do you mind sharing what you said to yourself? I mean, I know it was Mike, and I
Yeah,
respect that.
no, yeah.
Everything I did, but I'm curious for the listeners that are going to listen to this, right? We reach thousands of people a week on this stuff, and I just
Yeah,
want to make sure if there's agents out there that they're hearing from the guy like you, dude. All right, like let's just be
yeah,
honest now.
yeah.
What did you tell yourself at deal 20 or whatever that fell through? Like this is a great story.
Yeah, thank you. I'm a great guy. I have a lead. Her name is Lovett, and I called her this morning. I'm like, hey, Mrs. Lovett, Tracy, my mom's name. Let's get together. Let's set that appointment. You know, Milton, I just found out my brother has leukemia. I have to cancel, and I'm complaining about falters. You know, my sister lost a leg last year because she had cancer because she has a drug problem. Three sisters. She's my least favorite one, by the way. The 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 most favorite one. Her name is Chastity, in Monmouth, New Jersey. You know, um, and so Jersey City actually. And so she's my favorite sister, but the other sister lost her leg because she had a drug problem. She has cancer.
Hmm.
You know, my dad died last year. He had a heart attack. By the way, not a lot of people reached out and gave a shit and said, "Oh my God, are you okay?" No one cares because we're men, and that's okay. The point is, I had 28 falters. Next, you know, just like whatever problem we have, there's always someone, you know, who lost a loved one, lost a parent, lost a child. You know, I have a client who lost a baby. They were in a boat accident. So, you know, look at how lucky we are to be able to sit in front of a computer in air conditioning, talk to people, and make
Wow.
a bunch of money. I mean, you know, the amount of money you make, even in a slump, you know, you probably make more than the mayor of your city. You know, we have such a big opportunity. Still made a bunch of money, just not up to my standard. Had fall throughs. All right, well, how can we get better?
Wow, dude.
Michael Jordan lost 6 playoffs before he won his first championship. You got to lose to win.
Hmm. You know that one word, Rich, that I'm hearing from this guy is a complete conviction and belief in himself.
That's the
Oh,
truth.
I am my favorite fan. I am my biggest fan.
I hope everyone listening to this right now
Because
is hearing
yeah,
Milton.
brother, but the thing
Believe.
is, if you don't love yourself, who will? You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
the wives leave you, the kids leave you, parents will leave you. You're gonna leave someone at some point. You're gonna leave this world. You know, you have to fall in love with yourself.
Okay, hold on. Before we go though, because I know we're running short on time here, Rich. Okay, but I have to
Okay.
ask this question, and then Milton, you're off. Okay. How did you build your self-esteem, brother?
Affirmations. Yeah, again, that's in chapter 21 or something. You know,
Okay,
it's
going back to
there,
this
brother.
chapter
You
again.
know,
Oh my
everything.
God.
Yeah, it's there.
Oh,
Here's the thing.
hold on.
I have a 2.4 GPA. If I got one thing once, I'm sticking with it.
Got it.
I remember the affirmations no, they had to have been 2 years ago. And one of them,
Yeah.
front mansion. And then I think right underneath it was 10% body fat. So
Still
that
working
was,
on that one. I'm working on it. You know, I was getting there, but then, you know, you fail. You gotta, here's the thing. Failure is the person that falls off the horse that doesn't get up.
that's true.
I
I
remember
love it.
when I was coaching with your coach, he gave someone a kidney. I was like, that's the guy I need to follow,
Hmm.
you know. Then
Yes.
unfortunately retired. But then every loss is a win. Then I got in the Mike schedule. Then he kicked me out. Then I got in the Iris. So, you know, there's always a lesson.
Yes. I love it, man.
I
Listen,
always, you know, one of the things I learned was always wear a tie, always wear a suit, even when I'm working, you know, even when I'm prospecting. Because if someone picks up the phone and I say, I'm going to be right over, I have to be able to get, you know, you don't have to get ready if you stay ready type of thing.
totally. Nice, bro. How can people find you? What's the easiest way to find you if they want to reach out for referrals to Orlando in
Yeah.
Florida, in that area?
Yeah, you know, so we also, you know, obviously run a similar Facebook group to yours, National Prospectors, which is, you know, I mean, the operation you built was just hats off, man. You know, we'll make fun of each other once in a while, which I think is just good banter. But you know that you know we have a free thing on Facebook. I welcome your group to jump in anytime. Um, Facebook, Milton James Orlando would be the best way.
So on Facebook, Milton James. All right, cool.
Yeah, I live on Facebook, man. The marketplace, you got the instant message. Mike hates them. My coach Tony Smith, he says I spent too much time doing other stuff. The truth is I have super ADD, so it's high definition ADD. I'm like 4K, right? So if I'm not doing multiple things, I'll fall asleep.
Nice, man. Well, thank you so much for your time, bro. This is great. Thank you, Milton James from Orlando, Florida.